Hi friends, in this session I will be speaking about the economics of film industry with a special focus on the Indian scenario, where I will be discussing about the production, marketing, distribution, exhibition and piracy aspects. Well, India has a long-standing reputation for its acclaimed film industry and continues to be as the world's largest producer of films. Film industry is playing a very important role in Indian economy too. India produces over 1,800 films every year, double the number that of found in the United States. Indians still prefer watching films in the theater, which is the main reason for the prosperity of Indian film industry. India has over 6,600 single screen theaters and 2,100 multiplex screens. The value of the film industry in India is rupees 183.2 billion or 18,300 crores at present. The box office revenue of Indian film industry is approximately rupees 123.7 billion or rupees 12,300 crores. The regional cinema too has witnessed a surge in India, which includes major languages like Kannada, Marathi, Malayalam, Tamil, Telugu, Bengali and the like. The film industry accounts for approximately 20% of the revenues in the Indian media and entertainment sector. Film activities in Mumbai, Hyderabad, Karnataka, Kolkata and Kerala benefit the local economies to a greater extent. Well, let us now have a flashback on the Indian film industry from its beginning, like how Indian cinema grew into an industry. The year 1896 witnessed the first film screening in India, with Lumiere brothers screening the arrival of a train and workers leaving the factory in Mumbai. Till 1913, when the first Indian movie Raja Harishchandra of Dadasaheb Phalke was released, Indians used to watch European and American movies. The silent era, that was spanning from 1896 to 1930, produced over 1,000 films. However, only 10 are remaining now. No organized or regular film production was there till 1920s. J.F. Madan started establishing chain of picture palaces in India under the banner of Madan Theatres. By 1927, he himself owned 50% of India's cinema distribution network. His company dominated India's film production for a long time. Hindi films dominated right from the beginning. Over 6,590 Hindi films were produced in between 1931 and 1947. 1930s and 40s witnessed the beginning of the studio system in Bombay, Calcutta and Madras. V. Shantaram's Prabhat Studio, Himamshu Roy's Bombay Talkies, J.B.H. Wadia's Wadia Movietone, B.N. Sarkar and Dhiren Ganguly's New Theatre Company were some of the prominent studios. After mid-1940s, there was a decline in the studio system. There emerged the star system, the formula movies like those dominating violence and romance, and the injection of black money into the film world. Though there were some hit films, the 1970s and 80s were considered worst years in Indian cinema in terms of the movie business. In 1982, only 2% of the total movies were mega hit, while 16% were moderately hit, while 70% totally failed. There was lack of alternate revenue sources other than the theatre collections. Other than theatre collections, there was no other way for producers, distributors, financiers to recover their money. Even the overseas market was not impressive except for some people like Satyajit Ray or Raj Kapoor. However, new revenue streams surfaced in 1980s with the emergence of cable television and the video segments. Only during 1990s proper marketing practice came to film industry. Music became the trump card, while teaser campaigns, promotions, free gifts, story contests, advertising became important marketing techniques. Producers started spending 10% of the budget for advertising. Films started securing 25 to 30% of their total cost from the music itself. For example, Lagan and Yadein films. By 1998, overseas market emerged as a major source of the revenue, bringing 30% of the total revenue. By 2000, music, satellite TV, overseas market were contributing 70% of the film's revenue. And there was a surge of multiplexes and digital theaters since 2002. The period between 2006 and 2009 witnessed trends like domestic co-production, international co-production, rise of small film, and rise of language cinema, covering languages like Marathi, Bangla, Bhojpuri, Awadhi, etc. Well, with this background, let us discuss the aspects of the film economics. The first one being production. Film production is done in 5 stages: development, pre-production, production, post-production, and distribution. A film producer is a person who oversees this process. He looks into the aspects like selecting the script, coordinating, writing, directing, editing, and mainly arranging finance. This process is also called film making. Well, the development part includes the process where ideas are created, rights of books or plays or novels are bought, and the screenplay is written. Financing should also be thought of in this stage itself, which is the most important part of producing films. This financing is done in 2 ways. One is getting money from the outside financiers, and the second one is accumulating money from within the team, that is from directors, financiers, actors or writers. The second stage is pre-production. Pre-production refers to arrangements and preparations for shooting, then hiring cast and film crew, selecting locations and constructing sets. The production stage has the raw footage and other elements for films are recorded here during the shooting. And in the post-production stage, the images, sound and visual effects are edited and combined into a finished product. In the last stage, that is the distribution stage, the completed film is distributed, marketed and screened in theaters or through other media. Well, the second aspect of the film economics is marketing, which is the crucial part of a film's success. Film needs to be advertised like any other product in the market. It is all about driving the desired audience onto the theaters. This is also called press junket or film junket. This consists of advertising, press releases, media involvements, interviews and mainly social media marketing. Not just limited to outdoor or TV print. This marketing is not just limited to the outdoor or TV or the print media, because social media is playing a very predominant role nowadays, and even the film marketing people cannot neglect this. Social media strategies include leaked images, that is to create a kind of an excitement among the audience by leaking some of the important images which create a kind of curiosity among the audience. This will result in a lot of online chatter and publicity. The second technique is visual micro content. Small videos, posters, behind the screen pictures are spread in media, social media and in the public. The third technique is to use social media like Facebook, Instagram, Twitter to spread the message about the movie. The fourth technique is using trailers. Using these trailers through the official website, YouTube and social media. Then conducting competitions and quizzes. And then using memes and user-generated content to be distributed or publicized through various media. Then the seventh technique can be promotional tours, interviews of actors, directors, producers in television, cable, then radio, print and online platforms. The eighth technique can be co-branding, that is using famous brands like Krish used Lifebuoy, 26th July at Barista used the Barista Cafe in the films. This is also an important form of getting financial support for the films also. Well, the third important dimension of film economics is distribution. Distribution is the process of making a movie available for viewing the audiences. There are two categories of agreements in case of the film distribution. The first one is agreement between distributor and the producer. The second one is agreement between distributor and the exhibitor. In the first category, there are four types of distribution. One is minimum guarantee, that is certain percentage of production cost, that is 30 to 40% paid in advance to the producer. Second one is advance. It is also just like giving a portion, a certain percentage of the cost to the producer But there is one condition, that if money is not recovered, it should be refunded to the distributor. Then the third one is commission basis. That is about some 10% of the revenue is given to the producer, but the entire risk is on the producer. The fourth type is purchasing the whole right for a particular amount. That is the first category. And in the second category, there are again three types. One is theater hire basis. This is just like rental. The second one is percentage basis. And the third one is fixed hire. Irrespective of the collection, exhibitor should give certain amount to the distributor. Well, in India, there are 7 film distribution territories. Film distribution is done on the basis of territories. There are 7 such territories in India: Mumbai, Delhi, East Punjab, East Circuit, Rajasthan, South, and the 7th one is overseas. To name some of the important film distributors in India: Yash Raj Films, Dharma Productions, UTV Motion Pictures, Red Chillies Entertainment, Amir Khan Film Productions, Phantom Films, Balaji Motion Pictures, etc. And the fourth aspect of the film economics is exhibition. There are two kinds of exhibitions: theatrical and non-theatrical. Films are exhibited through theatre or in the non-theatrical forms like through television or personal home viewing, including DVD, video on demand, download, broadcast syndication, and also through internet release. And the last point is piracy. Piracy is nothing but illegal copying, selling, or screening of films, which is one of the major challenges of Indian film industry. This limits the revenue that can be reinvested by producer, distributors, or exhibitors. This lowers the revenues and makes a negative impact on the investment also. Despite various legal and regulatory mechanisms, it has been a major challenge in the Indian film industry, that is to tackle the film piracy. Well, let us look into some of the major issues of the economics of Indian film industry. The one is lack of unity among the film producers and the crew, or the people related to the film industry. The second issue is dubbing. As you know, there is no end to this debate which surfaces very frequently in the film industry, and there is no consensus over the pros and cons of this film piracy. Along with South Korea and China, India has the strongest local market, and hence people are finding the scope for dubbing in India. However, there has been strong oppositions to dubbing whenever the issue has surfaced. The third issue is national studios expanding their bases across the country, and this has become a threat to the local firms. The fourth issue is dependence on stars. From the very beginning of Indian film industry, this has been the problem, that the film industry is dependent on big stars, while those who rely on strangers or unknown people, unknown actors, usually incur losses. which has discouraged bringing new talent into the film industry. The fifth is glut in production. As you know, India is world's largest film industry, but still it is unprofitable. The average ticket price in India is very lower compared to the other countries like UK and United States. And the sixth important issue is talent crunch. Despite being or having a vast area, India is still struggling to have talented people into its industry. And to look into some of the opportunities, still Indian film industry has a lot of new opportunities to be tapped. The first one is Indian film industry can go national further. That is, it can tap the non-Hindi base. Hindi films constitute the major part of the Indian film industry. Still, there is a big non-Hindi base too. Major companies like Eros, Disney, UTV, Reliance are tapping the market in Malayalam, Tamil, Telugu, Bangla, Marathi and Punjabi. There are three advantages in this area, that is in the non-Hindi segment. The first one is the average budget required is very less compared to the Bollywood. The second advantage is distribution and marketing is cheaper. And third one is it helps cross-pollinate ideas and people from other industries. The second opportunity is the overseas market. About 70% of the global earning of Indian films comes from United Kingdom, USA and the Middle East. For example, Tamil films are very popular in Singapore and Malaysia. Many Indian studios like UTV, Yashraj have set up distribution arms overseas. So, we can understand that there is a vast scope in the overseas market for India. There are four ways, according to experts, that Indian companies can tap the global market. One is with Indian content. One can reach not just Indians but those who have a kind of affinity with Indian sensibilities. Because there is an estimated 200 crore people across the world who have cultural affinity to the Indian content. You can remember how Three Idiots or Kahani movies earned much revenue in the overseas market with their Indian sensibilities. And the second way is with the global content. Because films have a global appeal. They may or may not have Indian themes, but they can attract people overseas. For that purpose, Indian film companies need to work with Hollywood majors. This can be done by investing in global companies. Like Reliance, Bharti Airtel, Tatas have already started investing in global companies. And the second one is outsourcing, working for Hollywood studios from India. And this is being done prominently in animation and special effects movies. Well, the third opportunity for the Indian film industry is the Hollywood in India. India was the bottom of the chart country for many decades in terms of Hollywood movies, and the condition is not still better. The reason is Indians love their entertainment in their own language and context. Many foreign companies or Hollywood companies have already entered important tie-ups with Indian companies. For example, Sony with Sanjay Leela Bhansali, Viacom with Network 18, 20th Century Fox with Fox Star Studios in India. They have a lot of interest towards India because their original conglomerates like News Corporation, Disney, Viacom, Time Warner have been successful in India in the TV market after localizing the content. And finally, the fourth opportunity in the Indian film industry is digitization. Digitization is taking place very fast in the Indian cinema because the cost of making, marketing, distributing and watching films is very less. 70 to 80% of all the prints in Indian cinema are digital now. 80 to 90% of the screens are digital. The cost of digital print is less than 1/10 of a regular celluloid print. And this more number of prints in turn help stopping piracy also. So this is the scope for.
These are some of the observations regarding the economics of film industry with the special focus on the Indian scenario. Thank you for listening.